Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Commissioner Mitchell. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
All right, great. All right, it is just after 11 a.m. and all the commissioners are present, so I'll begin the agenda meeting for today, Wednesday, May 14th. I would ask those who are participating on the call to please mute your phone unless you need to speak. Today, before we get started, we do have a new PSC team member joining us. So I would invite Kim Bolin forward to introduce Calvin Nowak.
Good morning. This is Calvin Nowak from we hired him for our St. Louis auditing office. He has a business degree from Lindenwood, and he is currently studying for a master's in finance. He played baseball for Lindenwood, fun fact, and he has some previous field utility work experience.
Wow.
It was in the water and sewer field, and he actually worked in the field in another state. So, welcome, Calvin.
Yeah, great.
In the field, does that mean on a shovel?
Yes.
Yes, okay, well, that's in the field. Welcome.
We won't get into the description of what all he did.
Welcome. All right, today there are 4 tariffs and new orders, 1 case discussion, and 1 other discussion item. But first, we have minutes to approve, both open and closed minutes from the May 7th, 2025 agenda meeting. Those minutes have been provided in advance. Commissioners, are there any changes or modifications to those minutes? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving those minutes, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those opposed? By a vote of 4-0, those minutes are approved. The first tariff and new order today is in file number RD-2025-0265 in the matter of USCOC of Greater Missouri, DBA US Cellular petition for relinquishment of eligible telecommunications carrier designation. On April 1st, US Cellular filed a request to relinquish its designation as an eligible telecommunications carrier, or ETC, in Missouri. US Cellular explains that the relinquishment is necessitated by the anticipated acquisition of US Cellular's wireless business operations by T-Mobile. US Cellular stated that it will notify the Commission of the effective date of its relinquishment upon approval of the transaction with T-Mobile by the FCC and after a closing date for the acquisition is known. US Cellular believes that approval could occur by mid-2025. T-Mobile filed a letter expressing support for the relief sought by US Cellular. T-Mobile explained that it will integrate US Cellular's customers and assets into its own network and operations. T-Mobile also stated that through Assurance Wireless is an authorized Lifeline-only provider and intends to facilitate a seamless transition of US Cellular's Lifeline customers. On April 30th, staff filed its recommendation and noted that US Cellular's Lifeline customers will be automatically switched to Assurance Wireless and will be able to retain their existing plan, phone number, and mobile device. Staff stated that US Cellular's request meets the applicable Commission and federal rule requirements and recommended the Commission approve this relinquishment. Thus, the order before us approves the request, directs US Cellular to submit notice of this notice specifying the date of the ETC relinquishment, and further directs the filing of a status update if a closing date is not known by September 11th of this year. With that, I recommend we approve the order version number 1. Commissioner Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Even though I wish T-Mobile would do something about my constantly disconnecting internet service, I'm going to support this order anyway.
Thank you, Commissioner Coleman. Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My wife and I this summer, or in the next month or two, will be moving over to T-Mobile from our current carrier. And if they take those assets on, maybe that'll make T-Mobile's system better. So I'm looking forward possibly to the acquisition. So with that in mind, I'm supporting this order.
Thank you, Commissioner Kolkmeyer. Commissioner Mitchell.
I'm in support of the order.
Thank you, Commissioner Mitchell. Okay. All those in favor of approving this order, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? By a vote of 4-0, that order is approved. Second tariff renew order today is in file number EM-2025-0243. In the matter of Union Electric DBA Ameren, Missouri for authorization to enter into a contract with a third party for utilization of fiber optic capacity not currently utilized for electric operations. On March 4th, Ameren filed an application requesting authority from the Commission to lease 2 pairs of fiber optic cable strands over an approximately 15-mile portion of Ameren's Clark-Galena transmission line to M&A Electric Power Co-op and requesting a waiver of the Commission's 60-day notice requirement. On April 24th, staff filed its recommendation and explained that the optic ground wire cable line has excess capacity, signal integrity can be maintained and isolated, and M&A's use of the lines will not interfere with Ameren's use for utility purposes. Staff stated the transfer would not be detrimental to the public and recommended approval of the application with conditions, including the Commission order Ameren to notify the Commission if it intends to terminate, suspend, or modify the lease. On May 5th, Ameren responded and stated that it had no objection to any of staff's recommendations. No other filings have been received. Therefore, the order before us approves Ameren's application, subject to staff's recommendations, and grants the request for a waiver of the 60-day notice requirement. With that, I recommend we approve the order version number 1. Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
I support the order.
Commissioner Mitchell.
I'm in support of the order.
All those in favor of approving this order, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? By a vote of 4-0, that order is approved. The third tariff renew order today is in file number EA-2024-0302. In the matter of the application of Ameren Transmission Company of Illinois for a certificate of convenience and necessity under Section 393-170 relating to transmission investments in Northwest and Northeast Missouri. Last week, the Commission granted the intervention request of impacted landowners who had timely filed requests. This order before us addresses 2 remaining timely filed requests whose initial applications were unclear, and the Commission had allowed additional time for the applicants to clarify. One applicant, McGinley, I don't know how to say this name, so I'm going to spell it, Krawczyzyk Farms, responded and clarified that their property is impacted. The remaining applicant, David Gregory, has not responded. Therefore, the order before us grants the application to intervene of the applicant who responded and clarified and will allow that applicant to participate on the issue of routing concerns affecting their property. The remaining application to intervene that did not provide clarification is denied. With that, I recommend we approve the order version number 2. Commissioner Coleman.
I support the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
I support the order.
Commissioner Mitchell.
I support the order.
All those in favor of approving this order, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? By a vote of 4-0, that order is approved. Last tariff in order today is in file number OW-2025-0314 in the matter of the establishment of a working case for the development of best practices for wildfire mitigation in Missouri. The last order today is opening up a working case. The purpose of this working case is to gather information from utility stakeholders regarding current wildfire mitigation preparedness and using this information to develop best practices. Assessing the risk of wildfires and mitigating those risks is increasing in importance. Recently, Missouri experienced wildfires that impacted utility service. We want to make sure that our utilities in Missouri are prepared to meet the challenges posed by the increasing risks of wildfires. Our staff has put together a series of questions for our electrical and gas utilities to respond to that will assist the commission in understanding what the current practices are and what may need to be done to properly address risks of wildfire. We also welcome our municipal and rural electric cooperative utilities to participate. The order before us opens this working case and directs our electric and gas utilities to respond to the attached questions. As this is a working case and not a contested case, anyone else may also file a comment without counsel and without ex parte concerns. Similarly, intervention requests are not necessary to submit comments or to view public documents. With that, I recommend we approve the order, version number 1. Commissioner Coleman,
I support the order.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer,
I support the order.
Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you. Before I opine, I'd like to thank you and staff for taking, for taking such a leadership role in this. I know that wildfire risk has become a topic that's front and center on almost every commission in the country, and our experiences here in Missouri over last summer really kind of punctuate the need for this program, and I think it's a really good idea, and I want to thank you and staff for bringing it forward. So with that, I support the order.
Thank you, Commissioner Mitchell. Yes, undoubtedly took a lot of our team members working together to get the proper questions today. I think they got a really good and exhaustive list of initial questions, so thank you to all the team members who helped draft this opening of this working docket. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving this order, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? By a vote of 4-0, that order is approved. Turning now to case discussion in case EO-2023-0448, in the matter of the application of Union Electric, DBA Ameren, Missouri, for approval of a decommissioning cost estimate for Callaway Energy and funding level of Nuclear Decommissioning Trust Fund. Judge Pridgen.
Chair Hunt, thank you, and good morning, Commissioners. I put this memo on to see if the Commission knows how I would like to proceed on the contested issues. Just a little bit of context. Staff and Ameren filed a non-unanimous stipulation on February 7th. Public counsel timely objected. February 14th, we held an evidentiary hearing. April 29th, and briefs are now in. A little more context, the parties all agree that customers should no longer be contributing towards the fund. It is adequately funded at this time. But a couple of issues over which the parties disagree is, number one, should the Commission allow Ameren to continue to use a 65-35 mix of equities and bonds in that fund? Staff and Ameren say yes, public counsel disagrees. And then again, due to that, the customer is no longer contributing to the fund. The second issue is, should the Commission approve a $50 million trigger before Ameren, Missouri can come back and ask for customers to continue contributing to that fund? And again, Ameren and staff say yes, and public counsel disagrees. And I believe that's all I have, unless the Commission has any questions.
Thank you, Judge Pridgen. I'll just offer some initial thoughts and then open it up to my fellow commissioners to offer their thoughts. After reviewing the case and sitting through the evidentiary hearing, my initial thoughts on the 65-35 equity bond ratio was that it was an appropriate mix. It follows the rules. It is supported in evidence by the Willis Towers Watson analysis. OPC's position did not specify any alternative equity bond ratio mix. I think that would be problematic for the Commission to order an alternative mix, not knowing if it would be also supported to ensure that the fund continues to be fully funded. So with that, I think I would support the staff and company position. On the $50 million trigger, I do not have strong feelings on the trigger. I do think it could serve as a customer protection that the $0 balance could not go up unless there was a certain amount that did come out of or was reduced from the fund. And then again, the company would have to come back and ask the commission for approval of any additional customer contribution. So I would be supportive of this staff and company position, but also, again, not strong feelings. So really want to hear what other folks' thoughts are. So with that, Commissioner Coleman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I don't disagree with anything that you've said. I feel confident that staff has worked hard to review and understand each and every issue that was before us, that was presented at our evidentiary hearing. So I have no problems with it, and I will be supportive of staff's position.
Thank you, Commissioner Coleman.
However, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
do want to mention that I appreciate OPC's consistent work toward bringing issues to our attention and giving us the opportunity to think even deeper about the concerns for the citizens of the state. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Coleman. Commissioner Kolkmeyer.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I'm in agreement with both of you. I think the 65-35 mix is historic, and we should probably stay with that. I see no reason to change that unless there was some evidence that says we need to change, or stock market was even wilder than what it is and has been. But I'm okay with that, mainly just because of historical reasons. The 50 million, I'm with you. I could go either way on that, but I'm fine with the staff recommendations on the 50 million. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Kolkmeyer. Commissioner Mitchell.
Thank you. My thinking aligns with the other commissioners and with you. I do think that the blend of investments, it's clear that the company is operating within the curbs that are set by commission rules, and they've hired a professional fund manager to evaluate risks and tax implications of changing the mix. I frankly feel a little unqualified to opine on the matter. So I don't think we need to opine on the matter at all. I think the company is operating within the rules that we've set up. And it appears that they have been prudently managing the fund. So I see no reason to order a change. As for the trigger, I believe it does impart some protections to the consumer, and kind of provides an efficient way to reinstate collection if that ever becomes necessary in the future. So I support staff's recommendation as well.
Thank you, Commissioner Mitchell. Judge Pridgeon, do you have the information that you need?
I believe so. Thank you, Chair Hahn.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners. And turning next, we do have an other discussion item, which is a sunshine request for the release of information. Judge DePel.
Thank you, Chair Hahn. This was a records request under the Missouri Sunshine Law. We do, in fact, have some records pertaining. This was an electrical contact incident. We have just a couple of items that are responsive to the request, and I contacted the company, and they have no objection to their release. since the information was provided to us by the company, we can't release it without an order of the commission to do so. So I recommend that the commission go ahead and vote to allow the release of those records.
Any questions for the judge or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of releasing the information, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries.
You need a nomination or a motion and a second?
I don't know.
Yeah. I'll move on this motion.
Commissioner Kolkmeyer moves. Do I have a second?
I second.
Commissioner Coleman seconds. Further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? Motion carries 4-0. All good. Okay, and then we are down to the last item today, which is scheduling, and it's kind of exhaustive. So Tuesday, May 20th, we do have an on the record in the matter of the establishment of the collaborative working case dedicated to reviewing the consolidation of jurisdictions of Evergy Metro and West here in room 310 at 10 a.m. with Judge Pridgeon. The next day, Wednesday, May 21st, we have agenda at 9 a.m. followed by our public meeting with our RTOs, also here in room 310 beginning at 9:30. The following week, Tuesday, May 27th and Wednesday, May 28th, we have an evidentiary hearing in case EA-2024-0292 in the matter of Evergy, Missouri West for a CCN to control 2 solar generation facilities, also here in room 310 at 9 a.m. with Judge DePel. The following 2 days, Thursday, May 29th and Friday, May 30th, we have an evidentiary hearing in case EA-2025-0075 in the matter of the application of Evergy West and Metro for CCN for natural gas facilities here in room 310 at 9 a.m. with Judge Hatcher. Also, Thursday, May 29th, we have agenda at 11 a.m., so it will be a busy week that week. The following week, Monday, June 2nd through Thursday, June 5th, we have a series of local public hearings in case GR-2025-0107, Spire's request for authority to implement a general rate increase for natural gas service with Judge Fuel, and those local public hearings are as follows. Monday, June 2nd at 12 noon at the UMSL Millennium Student Center in St. Louis. Also that same day, Monday, June 2nd, 6 p.m. at the Shrewsbury City Center in the Sunset Room. Tuesday, June 3rd at noon, WebEx only. Also at 6 p.m., WebEx only. Wednesday, June 4th at 12 noon at the St. Joe City Council Chambers. Wednesday, June 4th that evening at 6 p.m. at the Greg Kleiss Community Center in Kansas City. Thursday, June 5th at 6 p.m. at the Missouri Southern State University Corley Auditorium in Joplin, Missouri. Also, Wednesday, June 4th, we will have agenda at 11 a.m. That Friday, June 6th, we also have a rulemaking hearing in GX-2025-0249 in the matter of proposed amendments to commission rules regarding gas safety here in room 310 at 11 a.m. with Judge DePel. And then also a save the date for October 7th. We'd like to announce today, because registration is now live, for the Commission's Power Mo annual summit. So with that, it is free, it is open to the public, and it is open for registration. You can find it also on our website. So save the date. Commissioners, are there any changes or modifications to the schedule? We're going to be busy. Hearing none. Any further business coming before the commission? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair.
Thank you, Madam
Thank you,
Chair.
Commissioner Mitchell.